So this exercise right here, this was actually developed by a trainer friend of mine, Sivan Fagan, very smart, bright trainer out of Baltimore, Maryland. So what we're doing is we have a side elbow plank. I'm starting with my hips bent and my knees bent at 90 degrees, feet together. And I'm going into the side plank here, so my hips are going towards you, so now I'm straight. So if you looked at me from a bird's eye, head, shoulder, hips and knees are all in one line. And then to bring in more glutes and hips, mainly lateral glutes, glute medius, is I add that lift. And so I'm getting the resistance of the NT loop for the top band, and then I'm also getting resistance of holding my body weight up at the glute medius on the bottom, which is the main part of the challenge. So this is a great combination lateral core and glute exercise. When I want to go to the other side, I just flip. So I'm actually going to flip. I'm going to face that way so you can see what's happening at my feet. Then I'll show you how to set up the exercise. And I'll give you some form tips. Make sure I don't crush my microphone here. So here's what it looks like from the back. See, my hips go forward, my body gets really straight, and I get as much space under here as I can. Now, how do you set this up? The setup to the band, the NT loop here, is exactly the way you would set up a hip lift or a hip thrust. Let's go over that. So what I do is it's basically like you just lay the band out this way, keep the label in the middle there, and I want to grab both ends and let it hang, like I'm going to hang it over a horse, and the bottoms here are my stirrups. Put them down so they flatten out. You put your feet inside. You want to have the band so it's in the centers of your feet. That way it's nice and stable. You grab both bands. You want to have your knees bent at least to 90 degrees, maybe slightly more. And you pull it over, both bands over your knees like that. Now, if your legs are fairly straight like this and you pull it over your knees, it may just come right off. So you need to have your knees bent and it's just below your knees. Now that way that thing doesn't slip off. Now you're ready to roll. You can hold it here for security if you want. Elbow goes right underneath my shoulder. Hips are slightly flexed. It means bent. Knees are together, but not so together that this is just going to come right off. I want to keep tension on this band the entire time. So see, there's a little space there. That way it doesn't slip. Now from here I lift, and as I lift my hips off the floor, I want to raise this leg off as high as I can, getting a straight line. So if I pivot in line with you, so you can see here, see that line? That's what you want. So I would do my reps on my left side, and then I would just flip over here. Again, I want to make sure I don't crush my mic. And we're off and running. Now, if you want to add a little addition to this, once you've done both sides, you want to get a little booty burner here. My butt's already working, and I'm not being sarcastic. Then I can go, because the setup is the same, I can go right into my NT loop hip bridges and really finish it out. When I'm done, my favorite way is just to bring my legs up, pull this off, and let it pull me right back up.